Now, you're watching this because I asked you want to see something funny. So I'm going to show you a number of things that are funny. I spend my time doing this research and presenting about what's going on in Ukraine. And a lot of things just don't make it off the cutting room floor. Maybe it's funny, but it's not really appropriate or flowing with everything else that we're talking about. So here you're going to see some memes and some AI generated stuff that just is kind of funny. So let's enjoy this. So here Jake Bro posted this. This is about Signalgate. So you have my sword. This is like The Hobbit or The Lord of the Rings. You have my sword. You have my bow. You have my axe. Am I supposed to be in this group chat? So, but it's beyond memes. It's actually to the point of like AI generated stuff like, well, this after the Oval Office, whoever figured out how to make this work or how to put this together, that was pretty impressive. Like that never happened, but it looks like something that actually could have happened. I mean, like it's almost, you would believe your eyes if you didn't know any better. Okay. And then we see things like there was Trump's painting. This thing here was, he was upset about this and he tweeted about this. Nobody likes a bad picture or a painting of themselves. But the one in Colorado State Capitol put up by the governor along with the other presidents was purposefully distorted to a level that even I have never seen before. Well, I mean, he looks like Trump. He looks like maybe Trump that's a little on the chubby side, but it looks like Trump. I wasn't thinking anything of it. I mean, it's not the greatest picture. If you want the greatest picture, you need the greatest picture that, you know, the one that Putin gave. And Steve Witkoff was talking about this.
It got personal. The President Putin had commissioned a beautiful portrait of President Trump.
A beautiful portrait of President Trump. This was after he was shot, and he had some artist that's loyal to Putin that created this portrait. And I was thinking, well, I'm not sure that that's really a beautiful portrait of President Trump. Like this was the picture, and this is the artist with the picture, and he's also commissioned other artwork as well, like this of Dmitry Medvedev, or I think this is supposed to be Putin. It looks like he's in the garb of Peter the Great. I think that's what he's trying to do. And then there's one of the Pope as well. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, this isn't really the greatest artwork, but okay, that's what's being portrayed. His name is Nicholas Savronov. He's Kremlin's loyal painter. 6 weeks ago, he had presented Pope Francis with a portrait of the Pope as part of a Russian cultural offensive. Okay, but I was looking at this picture here particularly, and I was thinking, man, that looks like that Mike Huckabee coloring book for kids. Like, and these two pictures don't look that far apart. Okay, at any rate, somebody said that they improved it. There we go. We fixed it, and they made AI to create a picture that is a hybrid of Trump and Vance. Okay, while we're at that, there was this other AI created thing where Trump is speaking to Laura Ingraham and he's revealing a picture on the wall in the Oval Office. And this is AI generated, but he said memes featuring U.S. President J.D. Vance are a genre of art in their own right. Why does this meme feel so real? Okay, so here's Trump talking to Laura Ingraham.
The vaults for many, many decades, and they said, we have to do something like drapes or something because the light eventually affects it. And it's very cool.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so that's a chubby J.D. Vance. This meme has been making the rounds here. This image of Vance has been making the rounds, and it's here's another AI generated version of this sort of thing. This is the president, giving the Medal of Honor to a soldier. Somebody put the J.D. Vance's head on it in this. I don't know how they're creating these AI generated things, but so this looks not real. But when it looks real, it's going to be something. Like this looks not real as well. This is Trump in a ring about to wrestle with Zelensky. If you're not hyped for the Trump-Zelensky Zelensky throwing down at WrestleMania 2025. Now, if you don't know what WrestleMania is because you're not an American, fake wrestling, like entertainment wrestling, like it's kind of like a male soap opera, is kind of a thing. And yeah, okay. So Trump was involved in this 15 or 20 years ago, where he was, part of the entertainment of it. He's fighting with Vince McMahon, and I'll show you that in a moment. But this looks like Trump, although you can tell that his head's put on somebody's body. And then this looks like, well, not Zelensky, but again, that's the background, and they have them animated to the point where they're actually moving around and doing stuff. And okay, it's not the greatest AI, but then again, the background to that is this. This was Vince McMahon. This guy here is Vince McMahon. He's the head of World Wrestling Entertainment, or was the head of that. And he always played a bad guy. And when I say he played a bad guy, he tried to make himself look bad to hype up the crowd to sell more tickets when bad things happen to him, like what you're about to see in this video here. And it's like Trump has kind of learned some things about manipulating the audience through what McMahon has done. Look up Mr. McMahon on Netflix if you want more about that. But here, Trump is in here with this guy. And that's Trump throwing him over, right? Okay, it was all staged. It was all scripted. They knew what they were doing. And here's a little bit more of that. Trump taking the guy down and hitting him in the head. And it's all staged and scripted. But that's actually Donald Trump. And so that's why you're seeing this image here. It's a kind of a homage to that. All right. So, but there are some other things that are really interesting here. Like, Putin talking about whoever leads an AI will rule the world. Well, he said this back in 2017, right? I mean, this was we're aware of this. I've done some papers. I've presented at conferences about AI. I'm holding some workshops at my university about this. There's something about this AI that's going to be compelling. And we saw this. This was after Trump talked about the Palestine taking over Gaza and that sort of thing. And here's what the AI was going to show, what it could look like in 2025. What's next? And you're coming out of this cave into this beautiful oasis of the Vegas of the Middle East and that sort of thing. And here's Elon Musk just having a good time and some belly dancers. And okay, so what did we just see here? Belly dancers? Look at this. These belly dancers. Well, something's wrong about that. Something is a little off here. Why do they have beards? I mean, what's going on? I don't know why the AI is doing that, but yeah, I mean, AI is a really interesting thing. Some people were pointing out social media is all abuzz, and this was back in November of 24. Social media is all abuzz with conjecture as to why throughout yesterday's 8-minute address by Putin. He famously has restless hands. He's constantly moving his hands. Don't know if he's just nervous or if something's wrong with him neurologically or just what. Putin famously restless hands were completely immovable. Is this AI or health issues or whatever? Okay, so maybe something's being done there. I have no idea. This is a projection of what Putin will look like in 2036 when he wins the next another Russian election in 2036. And so you can project that with AI, and those kind of things are being done. And then you have things like this. This is looking like Donald Trump just really listening to what Putin is saying, and everybody's gathered around him, except that wasn't the picture at all. This was the picture. It was an empty seat. These four are talking to each other, and somebody just slipped that in. It was a Potemkin village kind of moment. And then there's here of Trump and Putin as DJs, playing the music. And again, if you're listening to this on Spotify, you're just not seeing it. But this would be a good time to go over to YouTube and watch it. Most of my videos you can listen to on Spotify. But okay, and then this of Putin just at a bar with Kim Jong-un. Yeah, that didn't happen. Or in Venice for some bizarre reason, or getting a beer at the grocery store, or smoking in the back of a limousine. All made up. And then you can just slip in Kim Jong-un into that seat as well, and so your eyes could deceive you. My favorite one of these AIs is this, and this is Frank Sinatra singing "Make Russia Small Again," and it sounds like a Sinatra song.
Make Russia small again.
Okay, so it's not fully believable in a sense of it's not really completely done or anything like that. You can tell it's AI, but as AI gets better, it's going to be harder and harder to tell. Anyway, these are all little funny memes and AI generated things. I thought I would share that with you just so that you could have a good time with them, but it's going to be to a point where we're going to have a hard time distinguishing truth from reality, or reality from fiction, and what is actually a true video and what is a deep fake. At any rate, my friends, that's all that I have. Thank you for the time and the likes and the shares and the subscribes, and thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.